joined by Otto X and Within the Vacuum and MindsGaming. We have a fantastic script that we're going to be doing.
If imaginary, let it show. Beats that pulse like a heart beats grace. Where imagination flows with light.
Hey,
How are you?
fine. How are you? Hey, Odo.
Hello, finally made it.
How are you guys?
So far, so good. How are you doing?
Within, tell us about the listening party though.
It was, that was great. I couldn't get log in to comment at the time, but we just finished band practice and I turned it on. We were all relaxing with a nice joint, and your music was perfect. Everybody liked it.
Oh, thank you.
They were all saying, that's really nice.
I think it's awesome. That feature, I love it. And because everybody can listen in high quality, it's at the same time, we can chat and comment and have fun. I think it's a really good thing from Bandcamp. Bandcamp is good.
Yeah, that's really groovy. I got to get on there. No, it was really fun, and I look forward to the next one you have. When's the next one scheduled, or do you have one scheduled yet?
yeah, let's plan another one. There's a lot of music that I have to release yet.
Yeah.
Well, we could even do some of your old music, We could do maybe a once-a-week listening party for to catch up people who don't know yet. Maybe we'll
for
catch
sure.
on. We could do a little feature, a little community get-together once a week to listen to your music. I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
That might be cool. Yeah, why not? It's just about to organize and tell the people and to join and have a little time together.
Yes.
I mean, I enjoy it a lot. I mean, you it's like it's not live, but the sharing. It reminds me when you used to go to your friend's house because he just got the new album of whoever, right? And everybody gathered together to listen to it.
Yes.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Come on over. I'll get some cola.
Yeah. Coca-Cola, of course.
And everybody's there listening to the album record, and it was a great time, and I feel it like that. I mean,
it was.
Yeah, very similar.
Very similar. And it was so great. I thought it was so great that it was multilingual. I was translating the comments as we were going, and I was like, I'm learning Spanish. It's fun.
Wow.
That's really funny. Yeah, you said 20s. That's our way to say.
20s.
That's our way to say cool.
Yes. I looked it up and it said Costa Rican local slang. And I was like, oh, nobody else in the world knows this. This is like Costa Rica and me.
Except all the people who live in Costa Rica, of course. But
Costa Rica
and you.
and me.
Yeah. That was funny. That was really funny. Yeah. I've been working on this and. Hey, what's up,
Hey.
MindsGaming.
Hello.
How are you?
Greetings. Good. How are you?
Good. Real good. We were just catching up on Within's listening party that he had on Bandcamp earlier this week, and suggesting doing a community hangout once a week to listen to his music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
We have a. I mean, when something is good, it's better not to do it like too much,
There's that. You got to go easy. Does it? Easy does it.
Or maybe once a month then.
Play it by ear. Play it by ear, because you'll know when the right time is right.
Yeah.
These patterns, I think, kind of establish themselves if you let the flow happen. Like a waveform. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
it's
heartbeat.
about to create expectation, and then you can make a little party for singles or whatever. I mean, I think for the album will be great because it's a lot of time. Well, at least
Yeah.
like 45 minutes. But
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
So what's new, Minds?
Not much, man. Just working. Haven't been doing much. Other than that, I got a new story out for Embers Adventures last week.
Yes, I've recorded the other two. So it's just this one. That's
Oh, okay.
but it's getting quite exciting.
Oh, yeah.
Into the underground, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Explore.
Yeah.
Gotta link everything up, and now we just gotta get back to the city. Well, we gotta get through the underground and back to the city. But still.
That'll be an interesting journey.
Is the troll protecting the entrance to the underground then?
Yeah. So that's why I kept walking at the end. So he's gonna go through the cave and get
Yes.
there, and we gotta figure out what we're doing with him from there.
Yes, but are you taking him with you?
Who?
The troll?
Oh no,
Because you
no.
rescued him.
I'll let
Oh,
him.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's
not
staying
that.
behind.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wonder if the goal is to not just keep people out, but also perhaps keep people in.
Yeah, there you
The doors work both ways. Doorkeepers work both ways.
go. Okay. I wrote up the show for this week. I didn't get to look at the edits though, but I'm sure they're great.
Uh,
So speaking of drama, we were going over that script, and I noticed that it seems that the Reaper character is not Death, but like a subcontractor to Death or something.
Yeah.
The Reaper talks about, because we were talking about how to do Death, and I've been in the Seventh Seal lately, so at the very end we have Death making a comment, and we're going to give him a Swedish accent for that. But otherwise, just have the Reaper talk normally, I thought. Because the first thing, the Reaper, that means Death. But I'm reading, it's like, no, this isn't Death. This is like, it's like a Reaper, a subcontractor or something. Like a minor Death.
Yeah.
And that's interesting how you're kind of permutating that Death concept a little bit. He's like a functionary, he's got the quill. All right, next,
Next. Who's next?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to ask you about the eggs, right? Because the first game that you made, no, not the first game that you made, but the first game, the blockchain game, when we first started playing blockchain games together.
The farmer game.
The farmer game was all about eggs.
Yeah.
And getting yolks. And eggs is hugely significant. And now we've got Magic and Val harvesting eggs again. And I was just wondering, what do they really signify? Are they potential dragons?
The eggs are, well, I mean, that goes all the way back to like old mythology where eggs are the giver of life and birth and cosmos. So that's why we have death eggs and live eggs and our kind of setup. But each egg could be a dragon if we, like, it's a possibility, but mostly the eggs are right now a big barter system. So like the boy mostly uses the eggs to trade with and get what he wants, or gives it as gifts and stuff like that.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, if you go back through, you'll see like all the eggs are either a gift or part of a trade or a way for some. So, but yeah, they represent like who's doing what. So like the first egg the boy ever gave was to Jill, and she's alive and healthy.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Kid and
So the eggs, I think you once told me that the eggs were different between what the boy and the boy's father they had with
right. So everywhere the father went,
Right.
everybody died.
Yes.
So if his eggs represent death, so if he gives the eggs, you're probably gonna die, and then the boy gives the egg of life, and then
that's right.
that's why when Sue dropped her egg, she died, because that was her.
Oh.
Yes.
He was trying to give her egg of life, but she dropped it.
Interesting.
So,
But yeah.
is this cave underneath the town, and is this troll the same troll that's under the bridge in the town, or is this a new troll?
No, it's the same troll.
It's the same troll. So we're underneath the town now.
So yeah, the cave will lead underneath. We got to find our way through and back to the other side. So it's gonna come out. The cave is gonna come out at the bridge, and then
yes. Right.
So it would be going under. It would be the dry stream that they're walking right now.
Stream, yes.
Yeah.
I was wondering that because of the frog.
Yeah. And the water should have been a giveaway too, because the stream's dry.
Right. Okay, no, I missed that. All right, cool. Okay, so is the frog also in this story? Is he also a symbol of rebirth and life, or does he have a different role?
So frogs and trolls are mostly just links to fairy tales, mythic things. So it represents something magical what's going on, or something that's out of the ordinary. It doesn't. It's just a plot point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for all that inside information. I've been loving it so much. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was a fun chapter though. That was a good chapter. It's like a good knockoff of David and Goliath, I think.
Yes. It was brilliant. Otto and I talked about it. I was asking him about the axe that could chop through the skies. Is there a mythological axe that can chop the sky?
Well, there's not an axe that can chop the sky myth. There's lots of swords. There's a hammer, and there's no axe. Axe
Kind of dwarvish.
Axes are a lot grounded. I know there's a mythic axe, but I'm not sure what its actual powers are. I think that's from. Now I have to look it up.
One of the interesting things about axes is, I do we do historical reenactment for like 10th century Iceland, so basically Vikings. And I used to do these things where you dressed up in your costume and tourists would come by and you explain to them stuff. And I always wear an axe. And I always explain that most people in Scandinavia would use an axe you're more likely to find an axe being used as a weapon, because an axe has a lot of uses. You can use it to defend yourself, but it's also, you can chop wood, you can turn it around, use it to drive in a stake. Whereas a sword, all it does is kill people. There's nothing else you can do with a sword, and it's a big investment in iron, which was very rare then. So an axe is like an everyman's kind of a thing. It's a tool, really, that you can also use to harm, but you can also use it to build. Whereas a sword is something only a very wealthy person would have. It's a dedicated thing that only kills people. That's all a sword. You can't chop wood with it. You do anything else with it, you're going to ruin it as a sword. So the axe has that kind of more basic reality. People probably used axes way before they used swords. Most weapons of war were based on agricultural implements, axes, and a spear even you could use to defend your sheep from a wolf or something. But an axe has that extra resonance to it, I think. I wasn't aware of any mythic axes as such you know, and I'm Mr. Mythology over here, and yeah, Bob is like, oh yeah, kind of like Thor's hammer. And I'm like, kind of, but it's an axe. It's not, you know, that's kind of different. And
Yeah.
that's very cool, very original.
Yeah, I like the axe because I just said it's something you can build with, and that's what it's mainly used for. But you can also use it as a weapon if you really need to.
Right? Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. That made me think about the national anthem here. That on some part said the crude tools into weapons exchanged.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Exactly that. The axes.
If you take your tool, and if you need to, yep.
Definitely. So, Satori's on the road, right?
I guess so. You did post something there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think he might have just started posting again. He has been in Texas again with his grandma. She's still been recovering.
He couldn't join the listening party, but he told me that he has his own listening party with. I mean, what do you guys think? Like, honestly, that what I mean, I really don't know what to do. What should be the next step with this thing about the node and everything. I really don't know what to do. I don't, I just right now I just feel that everything is like a scam. Like to put it out there in GitHub or whatever. I don't know. I'm confused, but I really think that would be amazing, like to build something with it and create something amazing. But the negative side is what keeps me like not from you guys, like the world and what people with different mindsets can do with something like this and stuff like that. But I think but that would be amazing to do something great with it. Share it with them or whatever. I don't know, game or education, something cool. But I would need help. Like right now I'm doing modules. It's getting complicated. And, yeah, I would need like a professional or other people.
Right.
What's your view? What do you guys think? What you, especially you, Minds?
Oh, I think you should definitely put it on something. If it's GitHub or GitLab or just to get it out there. I mean, there's millions of them. The chance of somebody looking at it and calling it anything is very low, but at least we can have access to it and take a look and try to play with it and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, definitely just get it out there and see what we can do with it first, and then we can go from there, because it's just about how we can use it and what we can use it for and that kind of stuff.
Actually, I was thinking something like with the node, create our own kind of GitHub, And I was thinking like with the node, create our own chat and our own servers and our own, like everything from the ground, and build it and I was thinking something like that. I don't know if I'm just dreaming or if it's possible.
I mean, it's possible to have our own spaces and stuff. It's just a matter of resources, because server space is expensive. That's the problem we've always had, is getting server space. But we get it. We can figure something out, I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we just got to start looking around again. We got a lot of, you know, we've got a lot of stuff that we can look at. It's just a matter of time and effort. Like I want to start looking at other places to start coding, like the glitch was, and kind of look around for that. I know they're trying to get us started on GitHub and stuff like that with pages, but I don't know. I'm looking at their coding thing now, and it's a little it's interesting for sure. It's just a matter of how things run, and
Right.
because it has like editors and stuff like that. It's not like a coding space that deploys, and so we'll have to figure it out and play with it, find places to host, see what's up with everything. It's things take time. It just sucks because we have a lot of things that we set up and it goes back and forth, but it's never about that. It's just about creating and finding ways to connect and keeping things from moving. So
The thing is that if we cannot depend on any third party, like
no. Yeah, that's the whole thing, is we can't really do much until we have our own kind of places. But using those kind of places is a good start, because nobody has the money to keep servers running. At least we don't right now.
Right.
yes.
How do you envisage that we could use the node as a community within?
Well, if we can, I think that some good thing that we can have is maybe a chat that we can make with it, or storage, like distributed system for storaging. Start to develop the streaming platform for music. That would be amazing. And for art, like your perspective on education, but apply it. You can use the node to provide maps of interconnectedness, stuff like that, that are actually, like acting on their own. So that's pretty cool. I was reading the Tech Commons blog about this site, and I don't know. It's like everybody is aware of what's going on. Basically, there's a layer of people who really benefit from things not moving forward.
Yes.
Right.
Appear to me, like, and when there's a good idea, which is everything that you need to start something new and great, is a good idea, and if you're not part of the club, call it whatever, academia, elite group, or whatever, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how good the idea might be. And also, there's these other layers of people who benefit and make a lot of money when things don't move. So I think we have all that. I mean, like we need to sort it out, how to do it without trying to to feed into these organizations, or try to get the attention of the mainstream science, or the, because I don't know, we are underground. We are from another angle. We're coming from another angle. So, and it's not usual, right? For them, it's completely weird. So I don't know. Maybe there's some crazy millionaire out there who might believe in what we are doing. but we need to do it as a team. You know, because I cannot do it alone. I've been talking with friends and people that that maybe they can support us, but it's just me. We need to put it on, like make it look serious, like for presentations or whatever. We need to, and I'm pretty sure that we can get some support, but we need to do it as a team, definitely.
It's interesting. It's complicated to work in a community like this because everybody needs a team, but nobody can really afford to work on another person's project because they're so busy working on their own project. But if you don't back your own project, who else is going to back your project? So you've got to back your own project. But so it's the sort of cat chasing its tail or dog chasing its tail or whatever.
That's always been interesting with this our kind of style of community, because we like everybody creating, and then everybody's creating and they create their own stuff and kind of get wrapped up in it. But it's hard to make time for everybody doing everything, but as long as you make a little time for somebody every once in a while, it all works out and everything goes slowly, but it moves.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. If we have one team with clearly defined roles and interest areas, and we can all support each other's projects.
Well, we were doing it with Bleach.
Yes.
Right. We were testing. We were doing that kind of stuff. We're good. I think we're effective and we can collaborate with it. So in this case, I mean, if we put the node of that project in the center, not as my project, but the team's project, and we can, we all can afford it, like.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's just a matter of you can say that, but we need the code. We need to look at it. We need to be able to get it deployed. We have there's stages to this. It's not just, oh, this is code now we can do anything we want. We have to find places to launch it. We have to make sure the code works. We have to make sure it launches on different sites, different browsers. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it once it's built. Even if it's running locally, you still have to get it out there.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
So one of the things that Do Better pointed me in the direction of was an app called Perplexity, which if you ask it how to implement your project, it gives you this amazing step-by-step thing, and it lists the resources and gives you links, and it's almost like a complete plan of how to implement something. Maybe we should look at that, at having some sort of like 3-month plan, 6-month plan, year plan, 5-year plan. Where are we really going with the implementation of it? Maybe that's the next step. Maybe we need a sort of not just a short-term vision of how to implement it and what for, but then once we have implemented it, what structures would we build on top of it?
Yeah.
There's that. There's also, of course, the fact that as we proceed, more possibilities open to us. So we have to be ready to modify what we do, and perhaps even modify our direction. Not that it's not good to have a goal. That can be very good, but we'd have to decide on a goal. We all have very different goals, I think, in a sense. We all have the same goal in a way, but we're all like, somebody said that pulling together, no, that's tyranny. Pulling in all different directions, that's freedom.
Yeah.
But if we can pull in a kind of a group going in vaguely the same direction, we can all get there, but go in our own way. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
No, I mean, definitely. Right now, I think I'm focused on infinite storage because of getting rid of servers. right? Which I consider the first step towards, be independent for real. And it's very ambitious, but I think that's something that we should look for, like go for it, because it's possible. And that will allow us to grow very, very fast, and because, it's very unique. And, but I get what you say, Bob, about, the organization. I have entrepreneur skills. I'm doing
Yes.
this and that, but this is not the same. I cannot just push as you do with the business. To get your results is not the same. It's a little bit more tricky. So yeah, we can. I don't know. I mean, I think infant storage. It's the main goal behind everything that we can do with it. Right? We can do other stuff, but in the back, we should be looking for that, because I don't know. I think that's the way that we can achieve true independence. Yeah.
Well, maybe we should have another meeting during the week within, and we should get together and we should chat about it, and we should throw some ideas around and see how we could sort of start testing it as a group and see if it helps us as a group.
Yeah. Something that I wish like do is like if I can share the code with you guys and keep it.
Yeah, that's what I said. Do you need to upload it? Like you can. I'm trying to look at these spaces now, but I mean, put it on GitHub or GitLab and upload it so we can take a look at it and see what it's doing.
Isn't it public when you put it on GitHub? Or?
You can make a private folder.
Oh, okay. Just for authorized participants. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll try that then.
I think it's a fascinating idea. Got a lot of potential.
There's a lot of magic in it.
I would also just like to mention that before I forget again, that I've made an arrangement with Doggo to possibly come on the show next week and talk to us about Dog Swap, his exchange, and his liquidity pools and his apps there.
Okay.
So,
But why do he wants to come drunk? That's my question.
I think it was kidding.
He was kidding.
I think he was teasing me and I didn't understand. I think that he was trying to get me to say, what? You coming on my show, right? I don't know if he was, but he says no, he only actually drinks at parties and he wasn't serious, and our show is at 3:00 in the morning. So I don't actually know. You can ask him when he comes on.
Welcome to the Quantum Gathering drinking party. Yay.
There's nothing wrong with drinking every once in a while.
No.
No, I also didn't ask him how drunk, He didn't say roaring drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're promoting your platform and your apps and you're drunk,
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Each person has their different marketing style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So GitHub will be a nice option from there.
Yeah, I'm looking at their code spaces right now. So this is what the place that Glitch is recommending to move to if you have code, is their code spaces for the port over, and they're gonna have a bunch of stuff on how to do it and this, that, and the other. But I'm taking a look at it now. They have some templates and stuff like that. We just have to figure out one that we want to use. I'm better with JS, so I'm looking at React and the basic ones and stuff like that, but they're all I'm trying to figure out how you name things and sites and stuff, that kind of basic stuff. But like this, hold on, let me see. Oh, you have to be signed in to see it as well. So like that's weird to me because like I don't know. I'm sure there's a way to make it public here. Somehow I just have to find the button. I'm sure if I click enough buttons I'll find it, but it's one of these buttons, I promise.
Clicking off buttons.
Mike, do you really work with the Department of Defense?
Yeah.
US? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, so we are connected already.
Oh yeah.
To the top. That's good. That's good.
So
Yeah.
I know that we're quite limited for time and we have to get everything done. So I was wondering, Otto, you haven't filled us in on Navakavada yet. I know you have some big plans.
Well, we're moving into the seventh seal, which I think is going to be a big change in the way we approach these things. We've made several, I think, very fun and informative videos regarding motion pictures and other cultural bits, but it's basically been like a million other YouTube videos where we basically just talk in general about things. So we're going to be trying to focus on some specific issues that the seventh seal raises, about the personal journey we all take when we're confronted with the things that disrupt our world. Because it's basically a story about someone who lived in his little nest, his egg broke, he goes out into the world, and nothing is as he was told. And he's completely disillusioned with everything taught to him by his society. And this is something we all face at one time or another. So anyway, not to get into it too much, but anyway, so we're going to be focusing very closely on the conversations with death. Because if you look at the film from the aspect of, I don't know if you guys have watched the film or familiar with it, but all the characters in the film are basically the inner committee, all the inner voices arguing with the author inside about the existence of God and, the secularization of society and all these things. Death is the outside figure. Death is the person to whom he communicates. And that's the important part. That's the conversation we all ultimately have. And the chess game plays represents how we all play a game. We know we're going to be defeated at the end, but we hold it off and we try to make it as meaningful and as good a game as we can. And I think it does ultimately connect with Buddhism. Maybe we win. I don't know. But if anyone's won yet, I haven't heard about them.
So when are you planning to do this, and have you got a timeline, and when are you going to be releasing your videos?
The other thing I was going to mention too is I still very much want to do a series of talks with everyone here about the nature of the LLMs and AI and how it affects our society in various ways. Within can talk about music and creativity. Bob, you can talk about poetry and writing. Mike, you can talk about, and you we were talking a little bit about it in the thing about, of course, the writing aspect, but like some of the ethical questions. That I saw you bring up, which I think are very important and need to be addressed. This is also, we all are very busy. We all have jobs. My own job is like, I've got 2 jobs now and they're getting into high gear with the summer here. So, but right now, the seventh seal, it was kind of like thrown at us. And you know how like some projects it's almost like it's forcing us to do it, sort of deal. So this week I'm going to be in Dogsland, as I call it, with my charge. Unfortunately, we lost one of the dogs over that period of illness I was nursing them over, which is sad. But on the other hand, it also simplifies things a great deal in many ways, as these things do. But anyway, I'll be there, and that gives me leisure and access to bandwidth and other things that will enable me to concentrate on this. So This weekend, I'm hoping we're going to be recording our introductory video where we talk about our talking points, and Bob's come up with some excellent ones, some ideas for us to explore. But we're going to give an overview of what we hope to accomplish, and it should be a short video. And hopefully the next week by the end of the week, we'll have the first of our in-depth dives. So look for something hopefully by the end of the weekend for our first release.
Yeah, nice. I definitely will.
Have you checked out the movie? Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, I did. You know, I hate subtitles, but I tried to bear through it.
Yeah.
But we found an English dubbed one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, we did. Did we not?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I think the translation, it did lose a few things, I think, because you could tell with the subtitles, at least the one, it was, well, they had to take into account the fact that the characters' mouths move so much, and they kept pretty much close to the ideas. But the English subtitles I saw, and I think that was the link we might have posted, you could tell that they're using very often almost the same words, because, you know, Swedish and English, they're both Germanic languages. So, you know, like death is död, you know, and so forth and so on, which is related to the German Tod and our death. So I think the subtitles I saw were a lot closer to the Swedish. It was that Criterion Collection. They tried to get it really good. But the dubbed version is excellent, too. And it does give, it dispenses with the need for subtitles and gives you a good general idea of the film.
I think you're being a little bit of a mad professor, though. I do think it...
Me?
Yeah.
Me? Yeah. No. Fools, I'll show them all.
I think it was just a fun...
My army of atomic supermen will control the world.
I think you're mad.
One day.
Well, let's get together during the week and have some more meetings on this and come up with some more within. Let's get together with you and Otto and me and MindsGaming. Will you be around if you're around?
Yeah, if I'm around, sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
And we can just talk about some ways that we could, you know, get together as a community to implement some of these ideas together.
You know, I like Vin's idea. I like Vin's idea about having our own separate place. I mean, we kind of have that right now with the element, you know, alternate imaginarium, but maybe something more concentrated just on quantum gathering business sort of thing. So we don't have too many extraneous distractions, as can sometimes happen. Not do everything there, but I mean, just to have a place where you can just put quantum gathering related stuff, so it doesn't like clog up the other. I don't know. It's just a thought. But I like when Within said that. I'm like, yeah, you know, our own space is not that we don't have one, but just kind of, I don't know, just an idea.
Built from the ground. I mean, like,
yeah, to have complete control over it.
And with a completely different logic behind and possibilities, right? That's the
well, getting that code of yours posted, so that the guys who are much better, you know, I wouldn't do me any good, but I'd be very interested to see how that can develop once it's thrown into the, you know, the mental court, you know, the ball court. Get some of these really brilliant computer minds that we've got here looking at it. I think I have to wait for what you guys say, though. I have no idea. It sounds wonderful, but I cannot judge it. I have no expertise in that. I'm empirical. I push the button, the thing comes on. That's all I know.
That's my point. But that's my point. At the same time, it's like I'm not sure if this, this code, the core of the node should be public. We should be able to choose who is going to work with it.
Right.
We
maintain control.
Yeah. At this point, this is the only thing that we can is making sense, because as we call it here, democratic. You know, like pointing out who is going to do it
Right.
and who is not. I think it's a good, it's a we can do that. We should
Yeah.
do that. We did at the beginning, and then see what happens.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it should remain private, and I mean, minds, and we can play with it. Nobody else by the moment.
Right. Yeah. No, that sounds appropriate.
It's just to be cautious.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's responsible. It's a responsibility. You're showing responsibility.
One of my consultants, one of my friends told me, like, this is dangerous times, so
Right.
release something that could be dangerous in the wrong hands is not a very good idea.
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah. A lot of war and stuff going on.
Yes. Well, let's play. We're here together to play and to create content and to experiment and to bring things into, to birth things. So let's see.
Right now, what I'm most intrigued is what MindsGaming can do with it. That's that's mainly my whatever. I don't care about anything else, but what you can do with it.
It's what you said just now within about being careful about releasing things reminds me, and it gets me back to the axe. Interestingly enough, I remember something one of my anthropology teachers told me when I was in school like years ago, and he was talking about the axe effect, and he said basically talking about this Stone Age culture that had been contacted, and they're Stone Age people, and the people that contacted them gave them steel axes. We're going to help them. These steel axes will work better than the stone axes. It completely disrupted their society. There was a whole industry and culture built around napping flint and teaching the traditions and taking the hours and time and this and that. And suddenly the whole economy was thrown because we had the steel axe. You don't need those and all the whole flint napping thing, which was so central. I mean, you got to make a lot of flint stuff. And, they found like archaeologically these places where they'd been for centuries, they'd been napping flints and they have all these piles of chips and things. And just one little thing, it's like, well, this will help them. Just think of all the things they can do. But it completely disrupted the society. So, you've got to be careful. That was an axe that split the sky. It split their society up anyway. And I was reading something about the Brazilian government. I don't know if this is still true, something I read years ago, but their policy was at that time anyway, when they would contact, because there's a lot of people living in the rainforest that just never had contact with the wider world. And their policy is they go in and they tell these Stone Age people, hello, you're all citizens of Brazil now. We have this thing called taxes. You'll need a job for that. No problem. Here's your identity card. This is where and here's TV. And I remember reading this guy who was going up the Orinoco or something. And he comes to this really remote village and they're all inside watching Star Trek with a satellite dish and a big generator running the TV. But that was the thing. It's like you're in the modern world, so bam, here you go. And of course, this is very disruptive for these guys. But from the policy is like, well, you're humans, and we're just you've got a better culture now. Here's cars and electricity and this and that and flush toilets and everything. And it's some nice bits, but it's very, very disruptive. So
automatically they get poor. They become poor.
Yeah.
That's what happened. They were rich, and suddenly when they approach the other side of culture, they are poor.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly.
They are living on the street now.
Yeah. What was that thing they said in the Stone Age culture? A single individual can know everything. You can grow up and you know how to nap a flint, how to hunt, how to start a fire, how to build a house. You as a person unify your entire culture. And then suddenly you're put in a culture where you can never even know a millionth. And just like us, we're all divided. We all have to be specialized now. I can do some things, but I can't do others. Nobody in our society can say that they're omnicompetent, but they went from having that complete omnicompetence to, like you say, within being poor. and suddenly being impoverished. You know, their skills are suddenly no longer useful, and instead of being a proud hunter in the woods, they're a vagabond, a bum. You know, just somebody that's living. It changes them from being wealthy and in control to just being at the fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we don't want to run out of time. We want to do the script, don't we? But I need to mention that there's a wonderful sync, because Satori has just jumped into the Infinite Imaginarium and suggested that we get together and tomorrow and have a meeting. So he must have got mental telepathy from us. So if you guys are available tomorrow, Satori wants to talk about some of these things with us too.
Yeah, I might be able to make it tomorrow.
Okay.
I should be able to. I don't see why not. It's like the usual time, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Great. Well, there we go.
So yeah, I've been looking at the code spaces. They're pretty interesting. It looks like you can import stuff and move stuff over. So I'm gonna try to play with it the next couple weeks, see what I can do. I've already moved some stuff over to the GitHub and GitLab. I still have a couple more projects that I have to port over, but it should be done by the end of the week for those. And then I can start playing with their code spaces and see how they work and see if we can start using them for things, or if they're more just an example of stuff, because I still haven't found the public button, but I'm sure it's in here somewhere. But,
That's cool.
So Mike, what do you think? Within's been talking about this infinite storage thing for a while, and I don't understand any of this, so it's completely not my bag. But do you think it'll work? The way he explains it seems kind of counterintuitive to me. I mean, he's saying you can store things without space, is what I'm getting. Maybe I don't understand it properly.
Yeah, I'm trying to. That's why I want to look at it and look at the code and see what he's trying to talk about and look at and what he's looking at, because it sounds like what it's doing is it's compressing it into a loop, and that loop is more like I don't know. I think of it as a string. Instead of it holding the like MP3 or MP4 or whatever, it's just holding the string, and then once you pull it up, it relays that string data, and it's easier to hold the string than it is to hold the whole like video. You know what I mean? That's what it sounds like to me, but I don't know what it's actually doing, so it had to actually see.
He said one thing, and I was trying to get him to explain it a little more, and he said something about how when you delete something, and then he said something about when you on this whatever it is, it basically puts it back together again. But to me, it just seems like you would need space somewhere. I just thought it must be some kind of ultra compression or something. I mean, but he seems to say that you don't require any space. That just seems.
Yeah, that's what I think that's more a logistical understanding issue, because that's what I'm trying to explain to him, that like server space and coding space is completely different. Like you can have like coding space, and you can theoretically have a code that stores infinite data, but it's relaying it to the server. So that server space is what it really boils down to. And then it's the same thing with memory. Like you can have infinite memory, but if you run out of your server space and your memory, then you're done.
There are limitations.
Yeah. It's just a matter of what he's looking at and the actual logistics of what it can actually do. That's why I want to look at the code, because it sounds fun to play with for sure. Like even if it compresses it, 60 to 80%, that'd be huge for anything.
Yeah. Huh. as long as you can get the quality back, you know.
Yeah.
He was saying something about that. The video seemed a little fuzzy or something, I think. But
yeah, that's the one thing with strings. Like I've played with strings before, and like how to pull the string of data and just the metadata over the MP3 and stuff. Is that when you re-pull the string, it has to recode it as it's trying to play it to you. So you get the fuzzy. Sometimes it glitches. Sometimes it like freezes on you and
buffering issues.
Yeah, buffering issues, that kind of stuff. So that's the one thing I'm interested into. I'm interested in a lot, and it's just a matter of how it actually works. Because I've worked on a lot of things that have quote unquote infinite storage, and when you get down and dirty with it, it's just like, well,
infinite except for yeah. I'll be fascinated to hear what you say about it though, because it sounds interesting as all get out, and. Once you look at it, I'm sure you'll have a better idea what's actually going on.
Right. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what I want to, start building out on these places. Like, I don't know. I know you guys aren't coders, but I'm trying to look at this code space. I'm trying to look at GitLab and GitHub, because they both have different kind of coding spaces. It looks like GitHub's is a lot more user friendly to use, and GitLab's is kind of more hard coded into it's very old school kind of thing. So I think we might be better with GitLab for everybody to go. But I also want to just try to find other places that we can host or connect, because I know people are starting to get interested in getting together and joining. Like I've seen a lot of chatter on people trying to start communities, and we already have a built community. We just don't talk. We're very antisocial. For a community, we are the most antisocial community. We don't talk to anybody. We just make content every week and put it out there. Like, there you guys go, have fun.
I'll be in the chat. Maybe on Tuesday from 3 to 4.
Right. We'll see you next week, guys. But there's a lot of chatter on people trying to do communities and try to get something going. We already have one. We're really good with communities and building communities up. That's what I do. And and everybody there, I think most of the people there are kind of in the same mind frame as we are, where they don't want somebody that's the lead of the community. They just want a place to hang out and kind of shoot ideas back and forth and do this and do that. They don't want the old school Facebook kind of communities where one person runs everything that you do and all the ideas, and kind of it's because there's so many different ideas and things that everybody wants to do with their token. And as I said, it's the same issue we have. There's so many ideas going around that sometimes ideas get lost, or you don't have time for every idea, and you have to focus on one or the other, this or that. So it's hard for everybody to do communities. And the main thing with what I've learned from years and years of building communities is that the main thing is getting the people together, and having an outlet for them to click around. So like if you have just the most basic website you can think of, and it gives links to everybody in your community and their projects, like that's a good start. If you have a chat like Element, that's a step up. And then if you have a file sharing service or a way to share docs and ideas between each other, it gets better. So it's just about finding these little spaces and niches to start building in. And I think we have a lot of options. And my problem is that I like new stuff. I like the cutting edge stuff. I like keeping ahead of the trends, and I don't search. I'm searching for things that people are building, not things that have been around for 10, 15 years. I'm looking for something that's people are building today, and it might be okay in 5, 6 years.
Getting into the ground floor, getting into the basement, actually.
Yeah. So I mean, and that's what I always have done. I did it with mines. I did it with So it's just my niche is finding those spaces and those places that are micro, and sometimes they fall like Glitch, or like the Mozilla hubs and all these other places, and sometimes they do really well. So it's just about finding those little spaces of building and growing up like that.
It's like a talent. You can sniff these places out.
Sometimes.
I know a guy that could do that with bars. Years ago, when I used to drink, we'd drive around down in Florida, and he'd say, we'd be somewhere we never, he says, pull in there, that's a good bar. And we'd go in, and it would be a great place, because places, they vary a lot, and it would just be the weirdest rant, like, this place, are you sure? And he just had this thing where like a light bulb would cling, there, we'll have a good time there. But I think your talent is a little more constructive. I prefer your talent. You're the guy I want to hang out with, not the bar guy.
Hey, we can pick out. I pick dive bars. So any bar I pick probably has like 2 to 3 other people in it, and really greasy food.
I used to be a bartender in a place like that. Actually. It was so bad there were like holes in the. We take bets on like if the new customer would like fall into the hole or not.
Oh God!
It was like really the shadowy corner kind of place. Like, I think he's gonna go in.
Oh man!
Oh my goodness!
We had start looking around some more and get invested in something, get something built out. I think these code spaces are going to be okay for us. They have a lot of templates for the environment. You can just import your environment. It doesn't mean it's going to run, of course.
Right.
You can import it and see what it says and that kind of things. Like I just imported the MTCG into it, and it's like, oh, you need to update the nodes, you need to do this, so there's stuff that's going to be needed to be done for importing and moving over, but it looks possible, so that's good. And that said, we don't need anything fancy either, so what the idea might be is to build something really simple and then just get it up, and then once we can go from there using whatever we build that's just basics, because like we could build on Express or Flask or Next.js. I'm not that great on React, or we can just do a blank template and whatever people run, and so. But we'll see. We'll take a look at different options. Couple good places to look around. So I know I've been looking at alternative lately. Alternative 2. Been keeping up on WeFunder and my legacy drive, which is kind of like WeFunder, only it was around before WeFunder, and they're not as active, but they have smaller kind of things that get promoted there. So I've been trying to keep up with those kind of places and see what's out there. I know I sent you guys one to Substack last week. So, I mean, that's mostly what I've been doing, is trying to find little places like that. Like, I have a couple codes in GitLab that I might try to import over and just see how they run. Like, I have like a blogging kind of code that that I've had for a little while. I have all these little codes that I built, and I might just try to import them into the code space and just see if they run. Whatever run, if any of them run, we'll go from there.
Ooh,
But
There you go. Yeah.
nice. Nice.
and then we can start trying to reach out again and build and stuff with the users there. I think that's a good thing for us to do. It's just everything is kind of in a spin for us right now because we're gonna lose Glitch soon, and we don't have a great place to chill other than here in Element. But we still get together, we still make content every week, and we're one of the only communities there. So I think if the chatter is starting about it, so we got to start upping our game and start getting organized and things together. So.
Well, two people have donated to me, donated tokens to me in the token shop. Doggo and Musician both donated tokens to support my videos.
Nice.
That's groovy. They're noticing us.
Yeah.
And they're wanting to be involved, and they're wanting to, I don't know, be nice to us, which is cool. So I've been trying to make comments and tip their comments and stuff, which is like a very, very big step, let me tell you, for anti-social media.
Oh, God. Anti-social media. We're the most anti-social community. People are sitting there yelling, "Hey, we should build a community," and we're just over here like, "Yeah, we really should do something."
I'm gonna roll up another one and think about it here.
But yeah, we gotta start getting a little more active. But I'm just so busy with everything, and I hate talking to people. I've lost all my oomph of building for talking to people to get people to follow me around. And I just more about doing it and creating and kind of doing that.
Well, let me start learning that bit then, and take over that bit from you, and let you do the building stuff.
If you build it, they will come.
That's what they said. And then everybody comes, and then the place goes, "Okay, everybody's here. We have to shut down, guys."
Yeah.
And then we go to the next place.
Well, we're already setting that up. I mean, like, if you're always looking for cutting edge things, then we got to just know that we're always going to be moving on to the next project. So let's do a project, then let's do a project, then let's do a project. Let's not get too comfortable. We can be like those wandering people in the movie, those actors, that we just go around to shows.
Yeah. It's literally like being in Dude, Where's My Wallet? We just randomly go places and do
Just as long as we're all together, that'll be fine.
Yeah,
that's right. Places. Yeah.
That's right. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna run here.
Hey now.
Thank you so much.
Y'all are just getting ready to leave.
Go!
Do better.
I tried.
Oh, it's all good, man. We're getting back together tomorrow with SatoriD. You should come.
Nice.
Yeah, 9 o'clock.
What, 9 p.m. Eastern?
9 p.m. Eastern time, yeah.
Nice. Okay. I'll try to make it. I was helping my buddy work on his Jeep, so.
Yeah.
Shower
it's summer, man. Everybody's busy. Summertime. At least for those of us in the upper hemisphere. Those poor benighted souls in the under hemisphere there, the underworld. Poor
we're the top, yeah.
It only feels like the underworld here. It's like 300 degrees. Warming outside.
Melting plastic and shit.
Oh man, it's terrible out there. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here for tomorrow, but I gotta run for the night. Thanks for coming. Do better. Come tomorrow. Do better.
I'll try to be here early. Yeah.
Excellent.
All right, man. Later, guys.
All right, take care. See y'all later.